why did I want to do this? It's very simple. The founding fathers said that an uneducated electorate could not keep our country. And we're seeing that before our very eyes. I read a letter today in the letters to the editor from a gentleman in Little Rock who said, you know, those conservatives, they want a republic. You know, and that republic is just the opposite of democracy. And you know what? He's exactly right. Because the founding fathers didn't want a democracy. They didn't want the mob ruling. Right. They wanted a representative government. But that's the kind of stuff that scares me. Other things that scare me is when I see people stand in the well of the House now and say, I'm a communist. And they're not tarred and feathered and ridden out of Washington, D.C. There's something wrong with that. Wrong with that. I think I passed on to you last time we got together. Someone asked me one time, my father who served in World War II and fought with Pat in the Battle of the Bulge, and asked him, you know, asked me what I thought my dad would think about today, and I said he'd be cleaning his M1. Because the things he fought against, we're seeing in our own country now. We're seeing it happen before our own eyes, and that's why seeing all of you here today gives me hope. Having my youth panel on my show gives me hope. Because I worry for my children and I worry for my grandchildren. Because bottom line, every day I wake up now and I look down on the grass, I feel pretty lucky. I'll be taking a dirt nap here in the not too distant future, I'm sure. The bottom line is my children and my grandchildren will not. Hopefully they'll be able to live in the country that I grew up in, but right now it worries me. Seriously worries me. We got a great speaker for you today. I feel kind of a kinship with him. And I'll tell you why, because when I read his book and I read how he had been fed the pablum that they feed you in college, and that he had been, you know, a liberal because it was just considered that you'd be a liberal where he was at out in California. Well, I grew up outside of Chicago. Kind of the same way there, because if you're not, the unions will beat you up. You know, they'll take you out and make you into a Democrat. But the first time I was able to vote at 18, I voted for George McGovern. Oh! 18 years old. Hey, you know what? When you're young, you know, and you don't have passion like that, they say you don't have a heart. But after 30 years old, if you're not voting, you know, conservative, you don't have a brain. I've been voting conservative ever since I voted for McGovern. All right, it changed. I want to turn it over to this gentleman who is. What he has done is he's brought the conservative message to the internet. He's brought it in a way that young people want to receive it. And he's done great things. He helped bring Acorn down. All right. Let me remind you, I guess everybody knows that Acorn started at Philander Smith College right here in Little Rock. Where it got started. Thank you for that. We appreciate it. Let me welcome the author of Righteous Indignation, excuse me while I save the world. Here's Andrew Breitbart.